guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. Man, oh man, it is cold. So, yeah, okay. So I know there's some new people that have joined the channel recently through the Wade stuff. Also, even the video I did last on Stephen Stearns. And maybe you're not familiar with this series. I don't honestly expect a lot of them to come to this, but maybe they will. And if you do, so True Crime News is just a series I've done on my channel to explore all the cases that really don't get that much coverage. Now, sometimes I would bring in like updates from bigger cases. Like today, we're going to have a couple updates. Madalena Kojikari and Audrey, gosh, why am I not thinking of her name? I have it right here. Let's see. Cunningham. Which are things that we've talked about in the past, but many of these will be stories that are new to you. They are infuriating when you see like how many cases that don't get any attention, that don't get talked about very much. There might be a little article here or there. It is alarming. That's why the title says, once you're aware of the truth, there is no forgetting it, because truly there is it changes the way you view the news, true crime, everything, once you really see how often missing people, murdered people, their stories go untold pretty much. So that's what we're doing today. Also, there is a big storm, like I wrote in the thumbnail, slamming the South. I think we're going to get snow here, and I haven't seen snow in years since I moved from West Virginia, so I'm not looking forward to it. I don't like being cold. I miss summertime, but that's what's happening. Also, let me see. I want to start with just want to do a couple comments from the comment section from the last couple days to start, and then we'll get right into it. So, thank you, Music City Mom, by the way, for being a member for, I think it was 20 months. Thank you. Can't believe it's been that long, but okay. So let's go over to this Facebook page of mine here. And I grabbed 3 comments that I wanted to talk about with you guys. I was going to come on camera today, but I did not have time. So I'm looking like a crazy, just, sweats, ponytail, all that stuff. But hello, good to see you guys. Because I know some of you, enjoy better when you can see the person. Let me try to be on camera, at least while we read these. I have to get so close. I'm wearing one contact. So, yeah, my facial expressions while reading might be interesting, but okay. So Angela says, these detectives messed up this case so terribly. They did a great disservice to Maddie. The one cop that was awesome, Detective Kevin O'Malley, they replaced with absolute morons. And I think it's an interesting comment. I really loved Kevin as well. I thought he did an awesome job. Like, I can't tell you how we watched it together, right? And all of us were like, oh my God, yes, thank you. Thank you for saying and pointing out these things to Jen Soto that really needed to be said. So let's see. Hey, you guys, I didn't even say hello to you, but good to see you all. Okay. So our next comment, wrong way. This is on an old video about Jesse McFadden, and it says, did he get some of the girls to help him move the bodies? He did have a gun after all. If somebody pointed a gun at me, I'm sure I'd either run for it or do almost anything in the hope of staying alive. And I had forgotten about this. It's interesting that, some of these old videos are still getting watched. We talked about Jesse McFadden recently, but he's another example of someone who had such a long history of being violent and sexually violent that he should have never been out. I mean, he actually was out on early release, even after getting caught in prison, talking and creating a relationship with a teenager over the phone, and like Wade, assaulting his fellow inmates. So, and then this last one, which we're going to get back to Wade tomorrow. I thought about today finishing Mila's calls because they are related to the case, and then getting back to the end of the trial before we go into his history, I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't decide. So that is why we're not doing that today as well. But Beep says a murder conviction would stop romantic pursuits for many. Yet for some women, the greater the crime, the greater the attraction. Do they have a death wish? And yeah, it's crazy because for them to think that Wade would not do the same thing to them that he did to Mila, his girlfriend, right at the time, who he claimed he loved. No, crazy. Also, Tess, do me a favor and text me a number between 1 and 100. After I get it, we're going to do some Patreon giveaways. Okay. Hey, Brittany K. I'm glad that you're here. Actually, MJ, we're going to do like a collab this week. I think she's going to interview me because I do these creator interviews. So that is coming soon. Okay. So go ahead and put it in the chat. If you see your number, Tess, screenshot it for me. And we're going to do a couple during this live, especially because the live probably is going to be, oh man, I meant to do something before we started. You'll have a better chance of winning tonight because sad as it is when you talk about unknown things and, not the trending cases, oftentimes it's hard to get people to be interested. It's so sad because it's like, wait till you hear. We're about to get into it. They are horrific. It's not like these are, I don't know. Sometimes you wonder, is it not graphic enough? Is there not enough details? Was it not like, I don't know, bad enough for people to care? But no, these are horrific. So, okay. Tess, if you see it, you can let them know. And then, I don't know, sometimes you got to watch the order they come in. Music City Mom, we're doing a Patreon giveaway. And they have to guess between 1 and 100. Okay. So while you guys are guessing, B Crumbs, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay. Now, we're going to get into it. I'm going to turn this off. I'm just going to warn you guys, I don't really like trigger warnings. That is what we do here. We talk about true crime. However, these are just horrific. I'm going to start with one that's it's bad, but it's not as horrific as some of the others because you'll see. So, son broke into mom's home and dumped brother's ashes in the toilet. A Tennessee man was arrested last week for breaking into his mother's home and dumping her son's ashes down the toilet. On Saturday, Adele Totten, 33, broke into his mom's apartment in Memphis by smashing out a window. Totten removed his mother's indoor surveillance cameras before taking his brother's ashes and put them in the toilet. Totten, who was apprehended at the scene, was also accused of stealing a cap worth $10. Totten was charged with aggravated burglary, and this is what shocked me, charged with abuse of a corpse with a $5,000 bond. Abuse of a corpse. That is crazy. Hey, Diana. Yay, Violet got it. Violet, send me an email, and I will give you your membership. And then if you're already a free member or a member, we can talk about how that will work. So yes, hit me up in the emails. Nurse Ann, we're doing some Patreon giveaways today. We'll do another one in just a few. Next time, B Crumbs, I'll get you to choose a number between 1 and 100, but not yet. I want to do it in just a few minutes. So, okay. Now we're going to switch over to people.com and talk about, Tess actually sent me this. So 2 teen girls charged with murder after missing 13-year-old girl is found bludgeoned, stabbed, and burned. Now, I saw this on Crime Online too. I'm surprised I'm not seeing it really. I haven't really seen it on YouTube or anything yet, but it was on Crime Online. So 2 teenage girls have been charged with the vicious murder of a missing 13-year-old girl after they allegedly beat, stabbed, and burned her to death. Kenaya Baker was found dead by authorities after a fire at 114 Cardamom Court, a vacant residence in Capitol Heights, South Carolina, around 10:30 p.m. on January 15th, so almost a week ago. The fire department arrived to find smoke coming from inside the residence. They made entry and soon located a deceased person on the floor inside, the police chief said. So I wonder, did they start the fire to try to cover their tracks? I don't know. Baker, 13, who was reported missing at the time, suffered traumatic injuries to her face and body and had been severely burned, he described, adding that her injuries were heinous. According to police, there was no identification or evidence found inside her home that allowed them to immediately identify the victim. And there she is in this picture here. It's kind of a blurry picture, but in our meeting with the sheriff's department, we learned that they had recently taken up an investigation of a missing child. Originally from Sumter, South Carolina, she was reported missing on January 12th. She had recently entered foster care in Columbia and had a history of running away. I mean, how absolutely tragic, in and out of foster care, and just sad. Her cause of death was blunt force trauma, the coroner confirmed at the conference, and the coroner said this is a horrible homicide. Kenaya was bludgeoned, stabbed, and burned. 2 female suspects, aged 15 and 16, have been arrested in connection with her death. The 16-year-old was reported missing by her mom on January 12th. She is wanted by the Department of Juvenile Justice after cutting off her ankle monitor and has a history of disorderly conduct. The 15-year-old was last enrolled in high school in December of 2024 and is also a frequent runaway. The last known addresses of both suspects were in Columbia, South Carolina. So it looks like, troubled kids, all 3 of them. But look, now you've ruined your life, and I'm not familiar with, in South Carolina, the laws for if you're a juvenile. Some places will let them go at like age 23. 25 sometimes, but in the early 20s, I don't know. Hey, Samantha. It is Nadie. Aw, thank you, Grace. Nah, Nadie's always in the comments. She's always hiding out, lurking. Sometimes I need to lurk too. Oh, her melts are addicted, Hazel Eyes. You guys, my friend Nay makes wax melts. I don't know if you burned them in your house, but she gave me and Melissa and Jen different coupon codes just to thank our audience, just for you guys to get a little bit of money off. So if you look, the Nightbot just dropped a link, and if you guys are interested, you will love them. They are really, really good. I love her stuff too. It is crazy, though, that kids can be capable of something like this. So a missing persons flyer sent out for Baker mentions that she was last seen on January 13th and believed to be in danger. She ran away from Auburn Leaf Drive between midnight and 6 p.m. The Columbia Police Department did not immediately respond when people requested an update. Now, I'm curious, how many of you guys remember when Audrey Cunningham went missing and was murdered? We talked about it here, but this was talked about, quite a lot on a lot of channels. I haven't seen any updates yet. Maybe people haven't seen it yet, but having a snack attack. Oh, awesome, B Crumbs. I have some going right now. Yeah, they are. Hey, Harlequin. I should do a melts giveaway. I'll post one tonight on the members tab, and we'll choose. It'll be a quick one. I want to choose it and get it sent out by tomorrow evening. And Tess or B Crumbs, remind me, if you don't see a post from me, to do it, but I will not forget. I've been wanting to do one anyways. And then, yeah. Okay. They sold you on them, Samantha. They are so good. Honestly, right now I have the Bum Bum one going that you made me. Like she literally made a Bum Bum because I love the Bum Bum so much. Like this Old De Janeiro Bum Bum cream. It's really good. Okay, so now we're going to get into this one. Sex offender entrusted to care for 11-year-old Audrey Cunningham pleads guilty to murdering her and learns fate. He actually escaped the death penalty because of this plea deal. That's the way I understand it. Anyways, just looking at this briefly prior to the live. So a Texas man has admitted to kidnapping and killing 11-year-old Audrey Cunningham, who was found dead in a river nearly a year ago after she briefly went missing. Don Stephen McDougal has accepted responsibility for his actions in the kidnapping and murder of Audrey Cunningham and will spend the rest of his life in prison without possibility of parole or appeal, the Polk County District Attorney's Office announced Friday. He was charged with capital murder on February 21st, a day after her body was found tied to rocks in the Trinity River. Audrey, a fifth-grade student, was reported missing after she did not show up to school on February 15th. Remember, Audrey, the videos of her doing the tattoos and stuff? Dr. Brent Hawkins, superintendent of Independent School District in Texas, told people that McDougal had brought her to school as recently as 3 days prior to her disappearance. At Friday's hearing, Audrey's family members fondly remembered the slain girl and spoke about their feelings of betrayal by McDougal. She gave my family purpose, and you stole that from me, Audrey's father said. You took away the life of our little girl. Your punishment in this life will never fit the crime. Nothing will ever bring her back, and that's your fault. May you rot in hell, her grandmother said. Her grandfather said McDougal was a monster pretending to be her friend who violated her trust. In his statement last week, the DA's office says McDougal was determined to be ineligible for the death penalty due to a state law. Okay, so I did misunderstand this. Due to a state law that limits its use for anyone with significant documented intellectual and developmental disabilities. So the article I looked at was actually on Crime Online, and I didn't realize that, but he did, he could have gotten death, but not only did he do this plea deal, but he also has intellectual disabilities. Terrible, though. What a beautiful little girl, man. All of these kids are beautiful that we've talked about in their own way, and okay. So now I just want to pull up, just give me 1 second. B Crumbs, you should text me your number. We're going to do another Patreon giveaway. So you guys can choose a number between 1 and 100 and put it in the chat, and then B Crumbs knows the number, so you'll be able to tell us who won. And then she texted to me for, just in case, just to show that it's fair. Okay. Got it. All right. Hi, Angie. I know, Harley. These are going to be rough. Sometimes they're really tough. Hey, Trulia. I mean, it's really will make you sick. Like I said, once you're aware of the truth, there is no forgetting it. There's no going back. There's no pretending like you don't know. How many students get sexually touched, unwanted touch from their teachers? How many from their baseball coaches? How many kids in foster care or that have been adopted with CPS in the picture, end up murdered or missing? It is unreal. It will make you sick because there are these underlying themes of, okay, the state fails, this state failed, that state failed. CPS didn't do their job here, didn't do their job there. Okay, well, this teacher inappropriately touching this kid, this preacher inappropriately touching a kid, Sunday school, hot cars. Oh my God. Last summer, it makes me sick to think about how many hot car deaths there were. And we talked about true crime news more often then. So we just saw so much of it. Oh my God, Tess. No, I didn't see that. I don't see anybody guessing it yet. But I'll give you a hint. It's very close to how many people are in here right now. So, but yeah. There was a teacher today that is pregnant by her 12-year-old student. See, it's sick. It is absolutely sick. And when it's parents doing it, makes my blood boil. The damn parents hurting their own babies. I agree. It's sick. It can be anyone. Samantha, that's what's so scary. Like, we talked about this woman who her child was found, like, far from the house walking, and she got in trouble because she knew they were missing, didn't report it, just like missing from the property. And we were kind of debating it. I don't know if you, her name was Brittany Patterson, I think. If you go back a few lives, you may see it, but it's what I wish people like her realize. Like, sometimes you should like hover and helicopter and watch very closely, because our kids are not safe out there alone. They're not. That's just the truth. There are a lot of monsters that walk among us. Hey, PB&J. Hey, Natasha. Hey, Justin. Good to see you guys. Okay, so let's look at this one. Indiana mom who crushed foster son to death learns fate. Now, listen to this shit. This pissed me off today. An Indiana foster mom was sentenced last week to prison for the death of her 10-year-old Dakota Levi Stevens. Foster mom. Remember, I just said, there are a lot. There are a lot of kids who, foster parents or adopted parents. Why are you adopting or fostering kids that you want to abuse? It just, I don't know. It goes all through me. So an Indiana foster mom was sentenced last week for the death of 10-year-old Dakota. Like I said, Jennifer Wilson pled guilty in October to reckless homicide in the incident in which the 340-pound woman, God forgive me for yelling in y'all's ear. I'm sorry, you guys. The 340-pound woman sat on the 90-pound boy for at least 7 minutes after he fled to a neighbor's house begging her to adopt him. 340-pound woman sits on her 90-pound, I can't even speak. I'm so pissed. 90-pound child for 7 minutes. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Pisses me off. I just do not. Okay. Heard about this one. It's unfortunately in my state and angers me so much. Bullshit. All right. So Jennifer Wilson pled guilty. Like, I read that already. I'm sorry. Dakota was airlifted to a hospital in South Bend with severe trauma and died on April 27th, 2 days after the incident. Wilson fled and was ultimately arrested in Michigan in July after an autopsy determined that the boy died from mechanical asphyxia and that he suffered organ and soft tissue damage, liver and lung hemorrhaging. Wilson told investigators that the boy had been acting up all morning and fled the house when asked to do his chores. But the neighbor said he ran to her home and said he had been hit in the face and that his foster parents wouldn't let him call his case manager. Investigators viewed surveillance videos that showed Wilson lying across the boy, including several short clips and one that lasted for nearly 7 minutes, in which the boy is not moving at all. Wilson was sentenced on Friday to 6 years in prison, 1 year suspended, and her foster home license was suspended in June. Well, thank God. Oh my God. 6 years, you guys. See, this is bullshit. This is what makes me mad. This is why, like, the warning in the fucking title, because, and excuse my language today, but it's not going to happen. I can't help it. I'm angry because people should be outraged about this. And yet thousands of people are sitting all day, every day, talking about the drama in a missing kid case, Sebastian Rogers, that hasn't even been determined there is a crime. Sure, I understand. Emails were leaked that said it was a criminal investigation. There's no information. And nobody's paying attention to this shit. And it just goes all fucking through me. 6 years. People want to be outraged. YouTubers want to go protest and shit. Why are you not protesting this? God, there's no way he could have even called out for help with all that weight on him. And I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of it too, because I'll get caught up and I'll want to watch and I want to see what's going on. And I spend less time talking about it than I should, honestly, because this is bullshit. I'm guessing Amy I'm thinking maybe surveillance in the home. I'm not sure. Hey, Roro. And I do know that, some of these companies, like maybe you delete the surveillance off of your device, but it could be stored somewhere in the cloud, like YouTube. If you delete a YouTube video, it stays up for like a year. Justin, surely they get her in the penitentiary. My God, I sure hope so. Honestly, that sounds terrible, but the foster dad was watching. Yeah, how? It's bullshit, PB&J. It really is. So y'all forgive me because I know I'm just on one today, but let's go look at the local news of what they had to say about this. Foster mom who killed 10-year-old by setting on him for 7 minutes gets 5 years in prison. Is this video part of this? Because I would like to see that if it is. Let's give it a second and look at this advertisement. I hadn't planned on looking at this, but I mean, why not? I think we should just for a moment. And then I got some more that'll probably piss us all off. But
signed up. Join today.
Okay, not even a skip button on the ad. Come on, man. I do have premium for YouTube, but this is like through the website, so I can't, there's nothing I can do about it. All right. No. Okay. Doesn't look like this is about this at all. Well, shit. So on April 25th, about a half an hour prior to the incident, Stevens ran over to his neighbor's house asking her to adopt him. Again, he said he was hit in the face. Foster parents wouldn't let him call his case manager. Oh my gosh, look at him. Stomach growling. 4-year-old shot by 9-year-old sibling over here. That's another thing. Forgot. That's one of our other underlying themes when we look at all the articles that come out every freaking day. Children getting their hands on guns when their parents should have them locked up. It begins with Wilson already. So surveillance video captured the incident. It begins with Wilson already lying on Stevens near his neck and head area in a 20-second video. In another video, with a duration of 6 minutes and 48 seconds, she is seen lying near the area of his buttocks, and he did not move during the entire video. Stevens weighed 90 pounds at the time of the incident, and she weighed 340 pounds. Can you imagine sitting on your child? I mean, I weigh like 145, 150 pounds. I would not sit on my kids. And my teenager, like I could maybe sit on his lap because he's bigger than me at this point by a lot. But like on your little child, can you imagine? Oh my God, I'm sorry, but sick bitch. A warrant for reckless homicide was issued, and she was arrested near Buffalo, Michigan in mid-July. WGN spoke with his birth aunt. Oh, look. Anna and Levi's grandmother the day he was born. She had Stevens and his sister for nearly a year because his mom struggled with addiction and his dad had passed away. His eyes popped open in the morning and he was go, 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 she said. His passions were digging for bugs and playing outside with his sister. She said he was placed into foster care by DCS due to the department wanting him and his sister to go to additional therapy. Huh? Parrish Parker said she didn't think it was a good idea due to 2 additional days a week for visitation to their parents plus school. They didn't have time to be children. The judge ruled a removal from care, and I never had a chance to speak to the judge to tell them I didn't want the kids to have more therapy. Well, that's crazy. But look at him there. He's just precious. His foster dad previously said he was lucky to have shared great years with the boy. Oh my God. And get this, you guys. Not only did she only get 6 years, but in in Indiana, because it is a level 5 felony, she must serve 75% of the 5 years. So she only has to serve 4 years, basically. Great. That's lovely. Oh, yay. Hazel Eyes, you won. That is awesome. Yeah. Just email me on the email at the bottom of the screen, and we'll discuss, like, if you're a free member, I'll help you figure out how to do it, because I don't think you can accept. You might have to cancel first, but yeah, we'll get it figured out. And we'll do Patreon Live tomorrow. Yeah, he loved playing with bugs. Like, doesn't that sound like every little boy, you know? Oh, Pointer Lover, thank you. Congrats on 21K subs. Love you. Love you too. Thank you. And B Crumbs, thank you again. You guys are sweet. Thank you. Okay, now let's continue. Pregnant Georgia mom wanted for death of infant, arrested in New York State. A 23-year-old Georgia woman wanted in the death of her 1-year-old child earlier this month has been found and arrested in upstate New York. So officials launched a search for Gloria after a medical examiner found that the child died from blunt force trauma to the head with acute skull fractures that were not the result of an accidental fall or drop. Wow, so a grown-ass woman literally hitting a 1-year-old so hard in the head, you fracture their skull. We have a small child that has lost its life in the hands of its mother, and we would like to get this mother in custody because she is currently carrying another child right now, fucking pregnant. As Crime Online previously reported, deputies responded to a call about an infant not breathing on January 8th. The child died at a hospital later that day. Wright was interviewed at the time but not arrested. And once they had a cause of death, they couldn't locate her. She will face charges of murder and cruelty to children when she returns. Okay, now listen to this. How many of you guys know about Madalina Kojikari or have seen anything about her? Her case did get more coverage. I mean, honestly, not as much as it should have, but more than some of the ones that we talk about. But so her mom was charged with like not reporting her missing, and she's already out. She served like her time, which was, I don't know, a year or two. Hey, Lori. Even if you haven't heard, I feel like this article will give you the rundown on what's going on here. So, Madalina Kojikari, 11-year-old girl missing since 2022, was possibly sexually exploited. A missing North Carolina girl's items were burned before her 2022 disappearance, according to recently released search warrants. 11-year-old Madalina was last seen getting off a school bus on November 21st, 2022. You guys remember the photos of her on the bus that went around from that day. According to the local news, a December 2023 warrant stated that a phone was seized the month before. The device had an instant messaging app called Discord with 37 unread messages. Cornelius police wrote that the Discord account possibly belonged to Madalina. This investigation involves the believed sexual exploitation of minor child victim, the warrant also stated. There is mom and stepdad. Now, mom is an immigrant. I think she's from, is it Romania? Hey, Artemis. Though Kojikari was not reported missing until December, her stepfather, Christopher, allegedly told police that multiple items were burned in a burn pit on the family's property between November 2023 and December 2022. No, I'm sorry, November 23rd and December 10th, 2022. Police said the items included were her mattress, her clothes, and her Halloween costume. According to local news, investigators searched the burn pit and discovered a spot of dirt that was dug up. Stepdad was convicted in June of failing to report her disappearance and was sentenced to 30 months of supervised probation. He filed for a divorce a month later, so he's on probation. And her mom, Diana, was convicted of the same crime and sentenced to time served. She's from Moldova. So these two trafficked, sold, or whatever this little girl, burned her items, didn't report it. Police know that, but they can't prove exactly what happened. So they're running fucking free. And mom moved out of the country, and dad's, never showed up for his probation. I'm going to smoke a cigarette with you guys and get some sleep. Oh yeah. You don't live in the US, do you? I noticed one of your comments. All right. Let's see. I'm really annoyed by Crime Online's new setup because we don't get to see the pictures. Let's just go and like this, because this is the only way we can see the pictures that go along with it. Oh my God. Here we go. What did I freaking say? Teachers, there's these underlying themes, like I said. How do you say that? Underlining, right? Not underlying. Or wait, is it underlying? I know Jen has corrected me on this before, but I can't remember the right way to do it. But you guys know what I mean. There are these certain themes that we see over and over and over again. The same things, and it's so frustrating. Special ed teacher put genitals in Lysol container in front of students. A gym teacher at a New York school for autistic students was arrested last week for reportedly exposing himself to his students. The alleged incident occurred last Tuesday in the Bronx. Sources told the New York Post that this is where Dana, 44, put his genitals in a Lysol wipes container in front of 6 students. He allegedly also wiped his buttocks with a Lysol wipe in their presence. What kind of sick piece of shit is teaching these kids? WABC reported that his students ranged in age from 9 to 11. On Wednesday, he pled not guilty to second-degree endangering the welfare of an incompetent or physically disabled person, harassment, and exposure of a person. But remember, they're 9 to 11, and this is a special ed teacher. This alleged behavior is completely unacceptable, the Department of Education said. Can't forget about I can't think of her name, Kiara, what was her last name? The aide on the bus that was beating up the autistic students and nonverbal students. Evil is so real. You're so right. What the hell is wrong with people? I know, Hazel. I was like, what the hell? Underlying means laying or laid beneath the surface. Thank you, Harley Quinn. Okay, I do have a question for you guys. It's like Pointer Lover, the freaks and the pervs specifically choose jobs that put them around kids. But okay. And I welcome any feedback in how you guys want to move forward with the Wade coverage, because I do see that a few of you guys in here have been following along with that, many of you. So I can't decide, I just can't decide how to do it. I don't know. I know we have Mila calls to finish up. I don't even know. Should we even do that? Do we continue? There are so many charges in his history to go over, right? And then we have the doctors from the penalty phase at trial. And we also have some of the crimes he's committed. Like, I want to talk about the one he committed after trial on another inmate. So I don't really know what to do next. And if you have any ideas or a way you think we should do it, let me know. All right, let's go back to Crime Online and just look. be on the lookout. I do have this one pulled up. So since we have her picture here, because it won't show us on the article. This is Sophia Lilybeth Martinez, and she was last seen 3 days ago on January 18th in Brownsville, Texas. So there's her face. Very cute girl. Scary to think about what could happen to her out there alone in this world with all the shit we see. So she was last seen, like I said, 7:30, January 18th, walking near Paseo Plaza Apartments. She's 5'2", 130 pounds, brown hair and hazel eyes. So if you live near Brownsville, Texas, be on the lookout. Screenshot her picture and share it on social media. Probably could find it on her local news. Or on your local news, rather. Go back to her picture. Accused Gilgo Beach serial killer murdered victims in his basement. Wow, that shocks me. I don't follow that super close, but didn't he have a family? So that's strange. I do enjoy the laid back kind of hangout, like smaller chats, but it's so upsetting to me that more people don't care about the unknowns, the unknown stuff that happens, the less talked about cases. It really hurts my heart, for real. Even though I think it's great that some cases get a lot of attention, and that's certainly it's just certainly not possible for all of them to get that kind of attention. There's not time, right? The time for it, but it's just sad. So these two girls missing from Buffalo, New York. I know that Melissa's going to I think those are going to be her missing kids tonight, so we're going to skip those. And let's just look and see what else is on here. Brilliant med student disappears from inside of a bar. Where's Brian? Brian Schaefer. Michigan dad joins mom with lengthy prison sentence and death of 14-month-old son. Let's look at this. The father of a 14-month-old Michigan baby was sentenced last week to 15 to 70 years. That's quite a big range, right? Isaiah, the baby's mother, so dad and the baby's mom, Amanda, were arrested in October 2021 after police found the baby, Isaiah, dead at the Farmington Hills motel where the family had been living. Family members requested a welfare check on the boy. So his mom was charged with second-degree murder, second-degree child abuse, and accessory after the crime, and was sentenced last year to 15 to 60 years. Well, I wish they went into more details right here, but that is 15 years is not enough. Not enough. But yeah, I totally recommend if you guys get bored, need something to scroll, go to crimeonline.com. There is so much on there. There's podcasts, but also tons of articles. Florida children's book author and engineer husband sentenced in child abuse case. I feel like I had seen some of this trial from these two. Oh, wow. Look at this. Missing Ohio children found in Iceland after nearly 3-month search. 2 children reported missing from Ohio in October have been found thousands of miles away in Iceland. The saga began on October 25th, 2024, when a family member reported the kids missing to Canton police. Wow. The family member said the 34-year-old mother of the children had stopped taking her mental health meds and left her apartment, and the children were no longer attending school. According to local news, the mother rented a car that was traced to several locations in the United States. A cell phone connected to her pinged in Syracuse, New York. A bank card was used in Oregon and a phone call made in New Hampshire. They tracked the family to Denver, Colorado, but they hadn't stayed there for long. And investigators soon learned they'd gone first to London and then to the island of Jersey in the English Channel. From Jersey, they traveled to a remote fishing village in Iceland before Icelandic police found them at a hotel. But isn't she allowed? The children were placed in the care of Iceland's social workers until a trusted family member could get them. The mother was placed in a hospital where she will remain until she's well enough to travel back to the U.S. Now, that's scary as hell, right? Because trust me, from my own experience with my family, I know what it's like to have a loved one who isn't mentally there, who has children. And it's scary when, it makes you want to help, makes you want to step in. So I can understand the family's concern and them wanting to get them, but, it's not illegal for her to move. It's not illegal for her to quit talking to her family. It's not illegal for her to want to not take medicine. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn. We don't have that much information. So, but yeah. Neat. It does suck for the good teachers. Night, Diana. Yeah, Lori, children's book author. Hold on, I can maybe find it kind of easily right here. Uh-oh. Let's see. We'll end with that because today I've got some other stuff going on with my family this evening. So, Florida children's book author and engineer husband sentenced in child abuse case. So they pled guilty. The New York Post reported. Oh, look at this, you guys. Wow. For their 3 adopted children. So more people adopting kids and then abusing them. It's really sick. Oh, Lord. Maybe it's a good thing I haven't been doing the true crime news. I'm not sharing my screen as much lately because it raises your blood pressure. Really pisses me off. Okay. Oh, wow. We had a police officer near me just sentenced for bestiality. He was way too friendly with his dog. Hey, MK. All right, so let's see. The state attorney's office and the New Garden supported their sentence because they pled guilty to aggravated child abuse, neglect of a child with great bodily harm. Oh, wow. Jennifer she was the author of a children's book, A Real Friend. She received a 12-year prison sentence, and her husband, Joseph, an engineer, received 10 years. Court documents reveal that the couple adopted 3 children, all under the age of 12, who suffered ongoing abuse. On New Year's Day, 2021, Joseph brought one of the children to a local hospital. The child suffered from pneumonia, a staph infection, renal failure, liver failure, and sepsis. So they got 10 and 12 years. Wow. Medical personnel also found the child malnourished and with open wounds. During interviews with the other children, detectives discovered that the couple routinely locked the kids in their rooms for weeks or even months, providing them with little food and no showers or baths. Detectives reported that when the children did receive food, it consisted of a mixture of bran flake cereal, water, and vegetable puree. Police also stated the couple poured cold water over the children while they were in bed. One girl told detectives she had to drink from the water to be able to breathe. The couple then left the children to sleep cold and wet. The same child reportedly said she had not interacted with her siblings or any adults for so long that she had to count each day of the week in her head to keep track. Detectives said all 3 children had not seen the outside world in years. Wow, and they got 10 to 12 years. Isn't that lovely? Yay for plea agreements and plea deals. Not sure why you couldn't take it to trial and make them, they deserve life sentences, in my opinion. This will mess up those kids for life who are already needing to be adopted, so probably leaving not a pleasant home life. It's bullshit, man. These people are sick. Pisses me off. All right, you guys. So make sure you email me if you won the Patreon giveaways tomorrow. I think okay, we're definitely getting back to the Wade stuff soon. I want to finish that, but I never want to just do one thing. So I'm also very invested in this Megan Boswell upcoming trial I talked to you guys about the other day. So it will be one of the two things tomorrow, and maybe we can do a Patreon thing. I think, everything's canceled here. Schools are shut down. It's this storm. You guys, I think there are places in the South that have never, I heard the governor of Florida saying that they were expecting 5 inches and they could never find on record where a particular place in Florida had ever had that much snow. So this is wild. Thank you, Girls Anna. They talk about global warming, which, don't get me wrong, I don't know that I agree and believe in that necessarily, but I definitely believe that pollution is destroying the ozone layer. Now, what happens from that, I don't know, but it's honestly something I'm pretty passionate about. I just don't talk about much. And I've got old TikToks about it and stuff, but it's a big problem. Pollution is a big problem. There are places in China where it's just smog. They have to wear a mask to breathe. But anyways, getting on a tangent here, that it's a badass storm. We are getting so much snow too. You had 9 in some spots? Wow. PB&J, are you up north or down south? And Minnesota barely has any where I'm at. Hey, Care Bear, Bart of Cards. Girl, yes, we have been sick here too. 2 of the 3 kids have missed a couple of days of school at the end of last week. And then I don't know if I've had pretty bad headaches, but definitely got some sickness going around. My mother was abused physically for many years while in foster care in West Virginia. Bo ho ho bo, it's a problem. For real, CPS needs to be just completely redone. I believe there are good people that work there, don't get me wrong, but it's a bad system and they don't have a good way of doing things. And I am so sick of, look at Harmony, Oakley Carlson. Hell, almost every case we talk about, CPS was involved at some point or should have been if it's a children's case. Look at Leilani, Hell, she had a baby with drugs in its system and still took it home and was living with it. I mean, but then they're taking kids from people sometimes who don't necessarily deserve it or really are trying and deserve a second chance. It's all messed up. Oh, Neat Noodle, I'm glad that you were here. Yeah, Angie, we're supposed to get some snow. And I've not seen snow in years since I lived in West Virginia. I think I already said that, but just saying again, it's not going to be fun. We still waiting on snow here in Bama. Oh, yeah, I remember you when I did the Alabama accent. Oh, I'm excited for Melissa's interview tomorrow. I just want to chat with y'all for a minute, but we're done with the True Crime News. The earth heats up and the world cools. If it's not spinning a perfect circle, you get wobbly weather from a wobbly planet. I think it's headed your way. Yay. Well, I'm glad it's done there, though. Hell, Tess was showing me earlier where she lives. It's negative 30, at times. I think it's at nighttime, but still. I'm in the South. Oh, okay. Yeah, dude. I don't know what to do next. Hey, CB, with the Wade stuff, you guys, I don't know. I think that the Mila calls are relevant. Let's just talk about it for a second while we're sitting here, and it's more intimate conversation. Maybe you guys can give me some ideas. So the Mila calls are relevant to the crime because they talk about it. He admits to it. We've already listened to some of that, though. So I'm torn because part of me thinks I don't even really know if I should play the rest of them. There's a lot of other stuff I want to talk about with his background and his history and, hell, which if you're not on Patreon, you can join as a free member and have access to all the files. But you guys know I just did that records request and got back that stuff from Leon County. We could go through all the different things he was charged with there and read through it page by page, look at the rules for inmates. I mean, I just think there's other stuff to get into with him, plus what the doctor said at trial. So part of me is like not really interested in doing the rest of the Mila calls, because we've already got a good idea of how that looks. We've heard some of them, I think 1.5. I don't know. Lori says, my friend is a caseworker for CPS. She has over 340 cases. How the hell do you make sure? See, that's a problem. They need to hire more people. They need a bigger budget. Why are we sending so much money overseas, but we can't pay for the shit we need here? We can't take care of at least our children. Hell, not to mention our veterans and the elderly, but whatever. It's just frustrating. I was talking to actually it was Melissa and Woofy and Dietz one day, and a couple, I think Nanya and Jensen too, actually. And I was saying I just think that what if we all reached out to our state representatives and, about a couple of things with true crime. Number one, what I was thinking about at that time, there are no laws to protect these victims and their families from some of the online stuff that happens. And that's important. Like the internet with new, technology, you might have to create new laws to protect people. But also with I don't know, I just wish there was a way we could do something, but then you feel so small and you really can't change anything. So why even try? But I do think it's worth trying. I just don't know. I don't know. It's messed up. That's tropical weather here for us in Canada. What? I think you should review Mila's interview with Duty Ron. It tells the most of anything in regards to Mila. Oh, I rewatched Duty Ron's interview with Mila. Wow. Oh, thank you, Jay's the cat. Well, I really appreciate those of you guys who like it, because I do know the videos never do well on my channel, but it's something I really like to do. So, maybe we should do that and skip the calls. I'd like to know more about his current housing, the prison, his neighbors, his daily routine, etc. Well, CB, so in that request I did for Leon County, it's on the Patreon though, so you can look at it there. It was kind of interesting because there was, inmate rules. It talked about, which he was in Leon County. Remember, Wade's Leon County charges, there's a lot of them, but one of the most vicious and violent was that 2014 attack on the girl in the car, the one where he continued to assault her sexually the whole ride home, where she sat on his lap in the front seat and his friends are in the car. I mean, absolutely just cruel, scary. So that was in Leon County. And then there were a few other things. But so during that time period, 10 years ago, we could see what jail life was what jail life was like for him then too, which is kind of interesting. But go for the background, Nana says. I would be interested to dig into more of Wade's past. Me too. And I have at least 2 counties full. If you search his name, oh my God. Hold on, let me show you something. Oh my God, by the way, I was going to tell y'all about Nerdy Nuts. Before I show you this. So I placed an order today, and I thought I should share my code again, because if you're interested in it and you use this code, so this is one of the things I got. You'll get $5 off, and then it saves $5 off coupons for me for future purchases, like if someone uses your code. But today I got the Praline Dreams peanut butter treat. It's butter pecan ice cream flavored peanut butter with chocolate sauce, cookie dough, waffle cone bits, buttered pecans, chocolate chips, and whipped cream flavored frosting, and a couple others. So I'm going to put the code in the chat, and then I will also Let me see here. Copy. I'll post it on the community tab too. But yeah, I totally recommend trying them out. And what'd you say, B Crowns? I think you had better watch Mila's interview with Duty Ron. Okay, well, we'll do that and no more of the calls because I just think we've had enough of that. And there's so much more to get into. But I don't know if that will be the next thing we do, but at some point. Okay, so there's the reference thing for Nerdy Nuts. It's so good, you guys. No, MK, I need to. I haven't seen them yet, though. I saw the Cakesters, though. They have peanut butter Cakesters now. Foster parents. Some are parents that don't need the kids removed. Okay. So, yeah, check it out. But look, this is their website. So I just copied the link in, and that's where I get see the $5 off coupon. But it's just a bunch of different stuff. Like they just dropped Love Struck. It's got pretzels and then Cookie Monster cheesecake, oatmeal cream pie. Like, you guys, I will warn you though, if you try this, it is so addictive. You can't stop. I haven't bought it for 2 or 3 weeks, but before that, I was probably buying three jars a week. And we just eat it with a spoon at my house or on apples and stuff. It is so good. So good. Okay, so before we go, I'll show you on Patreon what I mean. 1 second. About his, some of his past. So maybe that's what we'll do. We'll keep going through his past, watch the Duty Ron thing, and then the doctor stuff at trial. I don't know what we'll do first, but we're going to have to do something, one of them really soon. But okay. Here, look at this. So resisting an officer, obstructing without violence, trespassing, reckless driving, making a false report or giving false information to police, grand theft of a firearm, also possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, which why did he not spend years in prison at that point, Or is that what put him in prison those few years when he lost his teeth? Maybe that is. So then we have contributing to the delinquency or dependency of a child. We talked about that the other day. Resisting, kidnapping to inflict bodily harm or to terrorize or facilitate a felony. Then that sexual battery, criminal mischief, petty theft, grand theft, resisting, burglary. I mean, this is just in Leon County. And this is from the time period of 2012 to 2018. I'm sorry, but when somebody, and this, like I said, one county and Lee County looks just like this pretty much. So at what point is it, they need to do some serious time? Because between this, Jesse McFadden, like I mentioned at the beginning, there are so many people we talk about that they could have been stopped a lot sooner and it would have saved some lives. Hey, Jahara. Well, we're just ending, you guys, but tomorrow, I think tomorrow we'll do maybe this. Go into these case files, go into the Lee County and Leon County websites. I'll just screen share and we'll just start going through stuff. I'll look tonight and get an idea of where would be best to look on there. But yeah, and then we'll do Megan Boswell, and then over the weekend we'll finish the death penalty end of the trial. So I think that's how we're going to do it. But just know you guys can leave suggestions. I want your feedback. I really do, even if it's not good feedback. I appreciate constructive criticism. When I started my channel, I really didn't know how to take it. It was hard. I don't know why. I don't know. It's different. It's different when you're creating something like a video, when you're live streams to keep people occupied, keep them company, dig through certain information, whatever. A piece of your heart goes into that, at least for me anyways. my piece of my heart, a piece of my soul goes into it. So when you're critical of that, it's hard at first to take. Also, I wasn't prepared for just the mean ass comments that aren't really constructive or even criticism. It's just like mean. But now I'm really appreciative of that. I can understand. I want the feedback. So feel free to let me know what you think. Hey, Sunday. We need to do a lab over there soon. Another rude comments. I've been saving them up. So anyway. Oh no, Care Bear. I'm so sorry to hear that. I know that's scary as hell. I took Bentley to the doctor once and he had a 105-degree temperature. At the doctor, they immediately brought us popsicles and medicine. So I'm so sorry. I know that's scary and stressful. You guys stay warm, snuggle up, find something good to watch, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, girls, Nana, I love the live streams. I work from home and don't have any other interaction. Me too. Well, I mean, I don't know. I just don't have friends in real life these days after I moved. I have a couple that live near here, but I never see them. So all of my best friends are online, and I love it. Like, because I get to stay in the comfort of my home and do whatever the hell I want when I want, but still hang out with my friends. It's like, I don't know. It's the best. Ro, you know I'm going to say goodbye for 20 minutes today. I'm on one. Plus, it's just random shit we're talking about. So, bye, PB&J. Thank you guys for being here. Justin, but anyways, yeah, thank you guys. It means a lot to me when you watch me at all, but especially for the topics that don't do as well. And the ones that really need to be heard and talked about, but don't. Like these teachers, the CPS, the system, there are so many, I don't know. It's important to me. So thank you for listening. And thank you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good night. I'll probably see you over at Melissa's. And I think I need to check. Let me drop Melissa's link, and I'm going to drop Jen's too. We're still waiting. There you are, Melissa. We're still waiting. I've been saying goodbye for like 20 minutes. Yeah, it's over, but but I'm going to drop Jen's link too, because I know that she had said she got her internet fixed. She might get back to streaming, and it's hard when you fall out of the algorithm to get back. Trust me, I know all about it. So, all right, you guys have a good night. I will see you later. I will talk to you soon. I'll see you tomorrow for the Wade stuff. And then, yeah, I could go on for like 10 more minutes, but I'm just going to hit end because I know that these long goodbyes are annoying and exhausting. That's a Southern goodbye 20 minutes later. I know. I can't help it. I'm so sorry. It's over, Melissa, but she's saying bye. So you got at least another 30 minutes. Good night, you guys. Bye.